Growth can be scary, it can be wonderful, it can be exciting, and it can be terrifying. You're going somewhere you've never been before. You're becoming a version of yourself that has never existed. This is why we resist change and growth so often. It is stepping into the unknown. It's trusting that there is something vital on the other side. It's an act of faith to continue to grow and evolve. You're boldly going forward into chapters you haven't read yet. You're writing your story as you go.
Namaste, yogis.
It's Goga, kinda like yoga. 2 years in the game, 78 postures later, it is clear hip openers are the big boys or girls in yoga. From sitting ones, lunges, squats, goddesses, hamstring stretchers, including the inversions. With this foundation, I'm convinced that we are ready to take a 90-day journey towards the mother of them all. They call it hanumanasana, monkey, or as most of you know it, the splits. Enjoy the ride. Day number 43. So let's begin with a bit of warm-up. So for 60 seconds, let's do some butt kicks. So just trying to keep the chest straight here for 60 seconds so that you can tap your bum with your heels. And so that you can try to do it as fast as you can. Just be able to speed up as you massage the glutes here with your heels. You can even make circles in these butt kicks. Turn towards the front, turn towards the side. Whatever works for you here. And you're trying to keep that awareness of your spine, keeping it straight. 15 more, 30 or so seconds to go. Oof. Just trying to get in that bit of tapas and heat. Oof. Butt kicks. Figuratively. Stop the exercise. Take a rest. Let me lose my shoes here. Let's do some bit of open knee extension. Go and do a wall sit. And then so that you can stretch your left leg forward for 30 seconds. Flex your toes and point them towards your face. You want to do this very slowly. Don't force that stretch. You can sit on a chair as well. I'm using a wall here because I didn't have a chair on this rooftop. Oof, relax. 15 more seconds or so. Oof. Feeling that nice stretch of the part of the core here. Gently release. Adjust and then stretch your right leg forward. Open chain extension on the right side. Try to keep your back straight as much as possible. Again, remember you can use a chair in this particular posture. Inhaling and exhaling. Press my back here against the wall with intentionality. Oof. Inhale and exhale. And then gently release. Take a bit of rest. The next what we are going to do some side lunges for 60 seconds. So lunge towards the right side, come back to center. Lunge towards left side, coming back to center. So you keep doing that, feeling that stretch on the leg that you're stretching, and then you want to keep the toes pointing forward on the grounding foot. Trying to keep the hands at the heart center as you find this deep stretch. So even as we navigate through the next or the remaining 47 days, what does practice manifest to you? What does growth look like? If you've been following this challenge with me, nearly 50% of the work done. Finding that nice lunge. Lunges are very good just to be able to bring in mobility of the hamstrings here. Let's say that you can take one last stretch. Oof. Then when you're ready, so that you can release. The next what we are going to do calf raises for 60 seconds. So you're pressing the wall, and then so that you can even balance on the balls of the foot like a ballerina for a few seconds. keep doing this, finding that nice stretch of the calf, feeling that nice calf stretch here as you balance up. Inhale, lift the heels off the ground, exhale down. So keep doing this, synchronizing your breath with your movement as you find that deep stretch. Oof. Let me see if I can balance here, bringing my hands on my waist. Oof. Come down. 20 more seconds left here. Keep lifting up and coming down. Very nice stretch, just to be able to work the calf muscles here. Oof. Inhale, exhale. Stretch my hands back to the wall. And then when I'm ready, see whether I can release. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Come into line on your back. Now we're going to do a lying leg abduction. Stretch your legs up 90 degrees with an inhale, straddle. With an exhale, bring them back together. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale, bring them back in. So the lying leg abduction, we do this for about 1 minute today. So inhale as you open the legs, exhale as you bring them back towards each other. And feel free to support your lower back. You can cushion your lower back if it's too much, especially on your tailbone, feeling that nice stretch on the inner thighs. Maybe stop here for a bit just to be able to feel a bit of a stretch on the hamstrings as you hold it here for a bit. And then keep going once again, just to buy time here. Then when you're ready, you'll gently say that you can hug your knees towards your chest and then release the posture. Take a rest. The next, you're going to do wide-legged forward fold for 60 seconds. So that you can feel that nice hamstring stretch on the back of the thighs. And then you want to straddle your legs as much as possible. See what that feels like here. Exhale. Maybe so they can find a twist here, just to be able to bring in a bit of stretch on the hamstrings. Feeling the backs of the legs working here, totally engaged. Maybe move to the other side. Come back to center. Maybe even start bringing a bit of dance here, just to be able to see whether I can make the posture fun, Rocking from side to side. Oof. This is intense. Inhale and exhale. Gently release by bending to one knee. Take a rest. The next posture you're going to do for 60 seconds, we are going to do half forward fold. So inhale, come into halfway. Exhale, come up. Inhale, come down. Halfway. Upper body is parallel to the ground. And then with exhale, you rise up. So you keep doing this several times for about 60 seconds. It's about a minute. Just to feel that nice stretch on the backs of the legs, and also a very good stretch on the spine, because you're trying to get that flight back. Then gaze down. Just try to create like an L, an inverted L or R. Hands on the waist as you keep hinging from your hips. Standing half forward fold. The difference here between this and the full expression of forward fold is in the full forward fold you normally go all the way down. So you want to stay in this half forward fold, just to be able to find that nice stretch on the spine. Inhale, come halfway. Exhale, rise up. Gently release and take a rest. The next posture you're going to do for 60 seconds, we're going to do the cross touch and reach. So you're going to open your hands out, and then so that you can tap the left foot with your right hand, come up. Tap the right foot with your left hand, come up. So you keep doing this several times for about 60 seconds. Finding that nice mobility of the spine, but you're also working the hamstrings here. Inhale and exhale. For 60 seconds, you're crossing, touching, and reaching. Don't bend your knee. Try to engage the knees as much as possible so the legs are straight. And just feel that nice mobility of the spine even as you keep tapping either foot. Inhale, rise, exhale, tap. Just be able to feel that stretch, and you keep going. About 20 or so more seconds left. Exhale. Cross, touch, and reach. Where are you crossing to this weekend? In your growth. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. And then when you're ready, gently release. Come into sitting, and then stretch your legs forward. You want to flex your toes into Dandasana, and then you're going to do hands moving forward for 60 seconds. So you just keep massaging your thighs, your knees, your shins until you get to your ankle, and then you come back. It's a very nice stretch. Just as you keep pressing the hamstrings down, it brings in some very nice stretch, especially on the hamstrings. So you want to keep doing this. You pull the belly in, just be able to get a deeper range to reach your ankle. And then as you come back, you start pressing the shins. The calves are pressing down on the mat, the thighs. Then you go back as you bend forward. Also very good just to set the stage for the next spinal stretch. Inhaling and exhaling. There's a lot, but we keep going. This is the practice. This is just the practice, And then when you're ready, take a rest. The next posture we're going to do, we are going to do a deep forward fold. But you're going to bring pulses into it. So you reach, tap the feet, come up. Reach, tap the toes, come up. Just bring in some bit of dynamism into this forward spine stretch. Inhale as you come up, exhale as you reach forward. So anytime you are stretching in yoga postures, you want to find an inhale, and then as you go down, you want to find that exhale. Creating music with your breath, but you're also feeling that nice deep stretch on the spine. And if it's there for you, it's okay to just say that you can even hold the posture. Less is more in practice. You can grab your ankles, the sides of your feet, and just feel that deep stretch. Breathing in now gently, in and out. And then when you're ready, release the posture, take a rest. And then see whether you can find a kneeling lunge stretch on the left side. So bring your knee to be on top of the left ankle, and then tuck your back foot, coming into horse rider, the equestrian pose. Press your left knee down, and then keep making these pulses of dropping your pelvis towards the ground. So as you drop your pelvis towards the ground, you totally engage the right quad, and then you want to keep your upper body at the center, on top of the hips, just be able to give you that nice weight on your pelvis to just keep you sinking down. So it's not about bending the knee, it's about sinking your pelvis down on the ground, just to be able to find that deep stretch of the hips. Very good stretch, by the way, just to be able to open those hip flexors. If you have tight hips, you want to make these pulses and just see what that feels like. We are holding this side for 60 seconds before we transition to the opposite side. And then when you're ready, straighten that knee, take a rest. Let's switch sides. So we come into kneeling lunge pulses on the right knee. And then drop your left knee down, keeping your ankle directly under the right knee, and then keep making the pulses. So you're intentionally sinking the torso, just distributing that weight above the pelvis to be able to find that deep stretch, feeling that nice quad stretch on the back thigh, Inhale and exhale, keep melting even the hips a little bit lower, trying to keep the torso straight intentionally. And And you can always even deepen the range. You can tuck your back foot, lift the knee, and just see that you can extend if that is something you want to try out. Yoga sometimes also is about daring our limits. That's one of the steps to growth. And then when you're ready, release, straighten that knee, take a rest. The next posture you're going to do, we're going to do downward facing dog. Kick your left leg up so that you can bring your left knee to your left wrist, bringing your shin parallel to the front of the mat. Then slide your back foot towards the back, and so that you can drop your elbows down on the ground, coming into half pigeon pose. Just stay here. You can either choose to stay with your forearms down and just try to keep the front shin parallel to the front edge of the mat. And if it's there for you, so that you can drop your head down and just melt into the ground, trying to bring your chest above your shins, feeling that nice deep stretch on the left hip flexors. You can even lift your back knee just a bit to stretch even more into half pigeon. One of the best hip openers actually in yoga. Then come up very slowly, tuck your back foot, downward facing dog, shake it out, let's switch sides. So you take your right leg up, bring your right knee to your right wrist, and then so that you can adjust your shin to be parallel to the front of the mat. But it's perfectly fine if it's not 90, it can be at 85. And then keep pushing that foot and press the foot tightly on the ground. And then when you're ready, bring your palms down. You can always bring a block to support you if you find you're leaning towards the right side, because I want to lean more towards the left side, distributing that weight as you melt your torso above your right shin. Now then just stay with your forearms down on the ground, inhaling and exhaling. Ooh, the sunset looks amazing from here. Oof. Inhale and exhale. Then gently press your hands down, downward facing dog. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. The next pose we're going to do is dragon tail or the lizard pose. So bring your left foot outside your left palm, and then you can drop your right knee down, trying to create that nice straight line between your ankle and your knee, and then so that you can drop your forearms down, feeling that nice deep stretch. You can tuck your back foot just to extend the stretch. Lizard pose. I love lizard as a hip hop, and it's just one of those poses that it takes you to some place. It takes you to some place. I should probably have started with this one before we did half pigeon, but it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. Sometimes practice can take its own course. Oof. Keep sending those breaths to your left hips, because you can feel that stretch is intense, and you can always use a block to support your forearms, or rather just stay with your palms pressing the ground. We've been talking about this before. Oof. Holding this for about a minute on this side. Inhale and exhale. Yeah, and this actually helps you now get the stretches even longer. Press your palms down, take your rest, take downward facing dog, bend one knee at a time. Now take your right foot outside your right palm, then drop your left knee down on the ground when you're ready. And then when you're ready, so that you can bring your forearms down. You start by bending your elbows to drop your chest, and then stay here, feeling the stretch now on the other foot. You can even push your right knee more outwards, and then just stay here, sending breaths to your opposite hip, which is your right hip flexors now. If it's too much, you can press your hands down on the ground like that, or you can even rest your forearms on a yoga block, or just pile up something just to be able to support your forearms here. And again, you can always keep extending the back foot just to be able to find an elongation of that stretch, and keep sending that breath to your hips. Keep sending that breath to your hips. Yoga practice sometimes is about finding that edge. When we grow, we leap forward, So if growth and change makes us afraid, that means we are doing it right. And these are some of the sensations we want to pay attention to. Gently release, press your palms down. Downward facing dog, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. And then gently drop your knees down. Come into sitting, find your way into sitting. And then from here, you're going to, so that you can bring your soles of your feet to touch, then grab your big toes with your two-piece fingers. Then so that you can stretch the right leg, bring it back to center. So that you can stretch the left, bring it back to center. Like you're doing half balancing bear. We've done balancing bear before. So you stretch, balancing on your bum, keep switching sides. This is warming us up for the next posture. Maybe one last set of this. Inhale, stretch the left, bring it down. Good. And then from here, maybe say there, I can do it one more time here. Half balancing bear and hold it. Bring it back in. Now stretch the left, drop the left knee down. And then so that you can grab both sides of your right leg and then stretch it forward. Coming into heron pose. Heron pose. And then stretch, feeling that nice stretch on the entire right hamstring. Yeah, and then just gaze towards your hand or just stay with the stretch. Release. Now bend the right knee, drop that knee down, and then so they can grab both sides of your left leg and then stretch it forward, gazing towards your toes. Again, these are the places and the times you'll always notice that you need to get a pedicure, gazing towards those toes. Gently release, coming into Baddha-Konasana, butterfly posture. And then so that you can find your way lying on your back. And then we are going to do a standard hamstring stretch. So grab your left foot, press your right thigh down on the ground, and just keep pulling the left leg towards your face, feeling that nice stretch on the hips. It's as if you're doing splits but lying on your back, pretty much. This actually helps us try to just find the range for a middle split, and then keep pulling the knee even more. If your shin is too far, you can always grab behind your knee. Just do it gently so that you also don't injure the knee joint. Knees are very sensitive, then you keep pulling that foot even in. The more you stay here, the more you can even pull the leg closer to your face without even lifting the head down towards the knee. Then gently release, rebend that knee, hug it to your chest, stretch it forward. Let's balance. Grab the right foot and then keep pulling that leg towards your face. You can either grab the calves, you can grab the knee gently, and then keep pulling that foot towards your face. Just be able to find that deep stretch. Oof. And then you want to intentionally keep the left leg pressing down on the ground the entire time. Trying to keep the lifted leg straight the entire time, and just breathe normally here. Inhale and exhale. Day number 43. Day number 43. This is day number 14. Feeling that nice hamstring stretch. For about 60 more seconds, paying attention to this sensation. So Jamie Varons says we have to trust that darkness before we embrace our growth in order to stumble forward, because we are just about to courageously become someone we haven't been yet, That's how I think of growth. Gently release, hug your right knee to your chest, stretch it forward. The next posture we are going to do half Hanuman or half splits. So again, feel free to drop your right knee down and then stretch your left leg forward, bringing that foot to balance on the heel. And then so that you can press your palms down, and then so that you can melt your head towards the left knee. Trying to keep the hips above the knees and just feel that entire hamstring stretch on the left leg. Then make sure the palms are pressing tightly towards the ground. You can also use blocks here just a bit, feeling that nice stretch. You can even extend it a bit by lifting the back knee slightly, and just stay here with the sensation. Maybe so that you can drop your head to meet your knee, kiss your knee, give your knee some love, and then gently release. We switch sides. So drop the left knee down on the ground, then stretch your right leg forward, balancing on the heel of that leg. Point your toes towards your face, press your hands down, keeping the hips and the knee on the same line. And just drop your head down, surrender into the posture. Surrender into the posture, stepping forward into that greatness that is in you. The weekend is about embracing our greatness while taking that bit of rest as well, radiant rest. And just stay here for about a minute. Mwah. You can give this other knee a kiss. Don't be biased. Stay here for a few more seconds once again, just be able to ease onto that stretch. And then when you're ready, release. Find your way into sitting. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. You have a lovely weekend. So if growth and change makes you afraid, that means you're doing it right. You're in the darkness between where you've been and where you're going. Trust it. Stumble forward. You're courageously becoming someone you haven't been yet.